It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 295 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens and ducks and geese.
we drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug all the poultry every day.
And we kiss them too, don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee house here in Maryland. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Some delicious Sumatra.
Oh, Holly Ann loves that strong coffee. She always goes for the strong coffee.
It's not always strong. Sometimes it has some sweet and mellow notes in there, but I am kind of a coffee purist, though. It's true.
You are. Now, are you ready to sip some of this delicious strong coffee and chat?
I am. But first, some words from our sponsors.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. Okay, so how are you doing?
Okay over here. I'm waiting to get through July because July, in my opinion, July and January are the most heinous months of the year, in my opinion.
So how is your eye twitch?
We've been a little bit busy. My eye twitch is pretty good because I actually went back to sleep for 2 extra hours this morning.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, that was good. And even though I'm complaining about the weather and the heat in January, etc., I'm kind of excited. The blackberries are ripening, so I'm starting to collect them to make jam. Pete's birthday and my sister Jill's birthday are this month, and I just love making the birthday cakes for them because there's so much stuff to use.
Now, as everyone's listening to this, I will be on vacay, which this is one of the reasons we wait a little longer in July to go on vacation is because it actually starts to get a little cooler at the end of July, a tiny bit cooler.
The first half of July in Maryland is usually like, whoo.
Yeah, and we have to go in July because we have a daughter in college, so we have to go in July, and we always wait till the end because it's too brutal in the beginning. If you go by on the 4th of July week or that week after, whatever, you're
not
out of luck.
only is it ridiculously hot, you'd be leaving behind your animals for somebody to take care of in the ridiculous heat, and that's stressful.
And that's stressful on the person doing it. That's stressful on the animals. It's horrible. So, yeah, I'll probably be sipping a margarita as you're listening to this.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, nothing else is really going on. It's just snuggling little man. And he is all about his lady over here. And it cracks me up.
It is really funny. Yeah. Armani lost his mind the other day and spurred me in the front of the knee and the back of the knee.
What? Why?
Yeah, it was like out of nowhere. It was rooster ambush. I don't know why.
Were you holding a bag or a bucket?
I might have been holding a bag because it's been so horribly hot lately that I'm not thinking clear. Well, I'm fine now, but when we had that 5-day stretch of hell temperatures, I probably did walk right in there with a bag. So he lost his mind and he spurred me on the front and the back of the knee. And I lost my mind and called him a lot of very unpleasant things. And then had to tell myself, you are screaming at a 5-pound rooster. Get a grip, woman. Really?
And if anybody does want to see what he looks like, he is on our Insta. Like a few weeks ago, I put a big picture of him up. He's gorgeous.
He's a handsome devil, silver leghorn. He is. And he's got a very impressive set of comb and wattles on him.
We talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it on air or not, but little man was sitting on his lady's egg. And it cracked me up. I don't think we talked. I think you and I just talked about it.
We talked about it, but I don't think you've said it on the show yet. I thought that was the funniest thing.
I walked out there and she's like eating and drinking, and he's like on the egg.
He's like, baby, I'm keeping the kid warm for you.
He loves her so much. He's like, I got this, baby. I got this. My lady's eating. I got to take my turn. And he just looks up at me.
That is not unheard of. And I think it's even more common with bantam roosters to do that.
Is it even more common with mama's boys to do that?
I don't know. If I were Janie, I'd feel smothered. I mean, she gets in the box to lay an egg and he lays with her, but sometimes he lays on her. I'll be like, dude, get off of me. I'm trying to lay an egg. What are you doing?
And I told you, he takes his beak and puts it in her feathers. And
yes. off of me. I don't know if she likes that or not, but I would just, oh, no, get off. Leave me alone. Stop.
He's all about his lady. He is so about his lady.
Oh, Janie, good luck to you, babe.
And on that note, if you're listening to the show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and give us a typed review in there. If you have something that you love about the show, we'd love to hear it. And it helps us grow a lot. And when you're there, hit that subscribe button. It's another thing that helps the show grow. You don't have to spend any money and it helps get the word out.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the show, you can tell a few chicken, duck, and goose loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show. Patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Gigantic thank you to all of our patrons. We love you guys.
They're the best.
They are the best. There are 2 more things that you can do to help this show. And the first one, don't forget, we're 3 months away from the publication of our book. Right now, you can pre-order yourself a copy. Make sure that it is in your hands on October 20th, which is the drop date for the book.
And celebrate with us on that day. Maybe we'll go live.
Absolutely. And if you're on the fence whether to buy it now or later, we're going to ask you to try to buy it now because pre-orders are probably the single most important thing you can do to support an author in their work. The other thing you can do to help support the show is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay! Can I ask you something about summer chicken keeping?
Go on.
What's the one thing you end up constantly checking when it gets warmer?
Their water.
Exactly. And that's where the Omelette Insulated Stay Clean Water comes in.
Okay, wow. What? Insulated? Tell me more.
It keeps water fresh in warmer weather, helps prevent slimy buildup and algae, and stays crystal clean so your flock always has access to cool, clean water throughout the day.
That's a big one in the heat.
It really is. It means less refilling, less scrubbing, and more reliable hydration, which is really important for overall flock health and egg production in summer.
That will make such a difference. Ordering now.
Search Omelette, that's OMLET, and upgrade your new chicken water today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business, working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards. Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today.
Do you want a little duck? I want a little duck. Do you want to learn about a little duck? Or a big duck, or a medium-sized duck? It's time for the Breed Spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah. A little weird.
Hey, you never know what's going to hit me. And this week's Breed Spotlight is
the Aylesbury Duck, which is not a little duck.
It's a little duck, a big duck, a medium duck. You never know what you're going to get.
It's a big duck. The Aylesbury is quite an old English heritage breed of duck that until the modern era was really a farmer's delight. The Aylesbury is a member of the APA's heavyweight duck class. They're pure white, they grow quickly, and they've been traditionally used as a table bird or a market duck, but they do have plenty to offer the modern poultry keeper. Keep that in mind because these gentle and friendly ducks are currently classed as critically endangered by the Livestock Conservancy. The Aylesbury Duck was shown at the first U.S. Poultry Show in 1849, and they were included in the first printing of the American Poultry Association Standard of Perfection in 1874. Originally developed in the 1700s in Buckinghamshire, England, in the Vale of Aylesbury, they were originally known as the White English. One of their unique features is their white skin, which is quite different from the Pekin duck's yellow skin. If you spend any time reading about the history of dual-purpose or market poultry breeds, and I know some of you out there are as nerdy as I am, so I know you do.
I'm not.
I know that too. You will have learned that the British prefer white skin birds, while Americans generally prefer yellow skin. Back to the geography, Aylesbury sits in southern England. It's about 40 miles north of London, and traditionally the area was home to rolling farmlands, and it was well known as the home of this particular duck. Somewhere in the very early 1800s, the name White English was changed to Aylesbury, better reflecting the duck's origins. So many names are geographical. I think that's the vast majority of livestock names are geographical.
Every single one, basically.
Now, for a while, it was believed that the Aylesbury could only be bred in the Vale, and this is because of the presence of a chalky white granite that was found in streams there. And apparently, farmers believed that eating this granite is what caused the pale bill. Well, in reality, it was just really careful breeding. So eventually, this was disproved, and the Aylesbury spread out through the UK because other people thought, oh, yeah, okay, I can breed these and still get that pale bill. The Aylesbury was also one of the first domestic duck breeds to arrive in the United States, arriving in the early 1800s. Now, prior to that, colonial and early Americans relied heavily on hunting wild ducks. I think at one point they may have even overhunted them a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Aylesbury was never the duck of choice for the 19th century American duck farmers. For whatever reason, they were considered less hardy than the Rouen, though in Story's Guide to Raising Ducks, Dave Holderried notes that he believes this was likely due to vitamin A and vitamin D deficiency, which is an interesting theory.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the arrival of the yellow-skinned Pekin duck quickly eclipsed both the Aylesbury and the Rouen with U.S. farmers and homesteaders. Now, when we did the Rouen duck a few weeks back, we talked about the fact that there's a standard exhibition strain, and then there's also a somewhat smaller utility strain. You wanted the big duck, I wanted the smaller duck.
Of course, yes.
Well, the Aylesbury is similar, having a utility strain as well. The Livestock Conservancy notes that it can be difficult for that exhibition strain to breed naturally, and this probably also contributes to their endangered status. And I will say, we're going to talk about where to get them at the end, but I was having trouble in the U.S. even finding references of whether an Aylesbury was utility or exhibition. So
much less finding someone to breed
exactly,
them.
Exactly right.
So let's look at how they look, right? The Aylesbury, it's an all-white duck. It's all white, which those are sometimes the cutest little, you kind of look at them and you think of a farm duck. You're like, you see a white duck, you're like, oh, it's a farm duck.
For sure.
I mean, where we grew up here, you look at mallards and you think wild water ducks. It's all about where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have all white skin and a very pale pink, or it's kind of apricot colored bill that the APA refers to as flesh colored.
Which just sounds gross to me. Flesh colored.
It's flesh colored. Now, if it slants downward from their head, making the slope from head to bill look a bit like a sliding board, kind of a ramp kind of surface.
I like that. Sliding board, yes.
Yeah. And they are heavy ducks with large bodies, those deep breasts, and long, low keels that practically touch the ground. They're kind of duck that I would like. I love big, huge farm ducks. If you're with me, raise your hand wherever you are right now. I'm raising mine. I got it. Again, that's similar to the Rouen. Now, the drakes usually weigh in at around 9 to 10 pounds, and duck hens around 8 to 9 pounds, so they are pretty big. They have orange legs and feet and blue-gray eyes. It sounds like a really cool farm duck. It just sounds like a really cool duck.
It's a very pretty farm duck. I feel like the Aylesbury, in a lot of ways, is sort of the equivalent of the white-Emden goose, which is Pete's favorite.
And maybe the Orpington in the chicken world. You just classify them as the farm. Now, as ducklings, this is what I'm thinking of. White, of the yellow fluffy. They're little yellow fluff balls, right? So
yeah,
that reminds me of Bluff Orpingtons when they're chicks and stuff. They're super
they really
cute.
Are like the classic farm duckling. Just little yellow fluff. They're so cute.
Exactly. Now, the number of eggs laid by an Aylesbury hen depends on her bloodlines. Depending if she is the utility strain or from the show lines, she may provide you with anywhere from 3 dozen to around 125 large white or blue or green eggs per year. That is a big differential.
That's a huge range, right? And there are all these questions like if she's an exhibition bird with a really big keel, I mean, I guess it's really hard for them to mate. And
you're talking 36 to 125. That's a very large, different range here.
I mean, and 125 is not a huge number. So say you're keeping the utility strain, you're getting 125 large eggs, but that's a contribution, which makes them a dual purpose bird for sure.
Any egg is a contribution, you know, talking to people don't understand sometimes how hard it is for the poultry to actually lay an egg. Sometimes they have health problems. They have whatever. Be thankful for and grateful for any eggs you get, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So the Aylesbury, it's gentle. It's a very gentle, friendly duck. it makes a very nice pet. That's the other thing. You may not get a lot of eggs, but you're going to have a companion.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what you want. And the eggs are a bonus.
Yep.
They're not very active and will amble around happily. That's my kind of duck right there.
I kind of find that really attractive too.
Yeah, but probably the utility strain gets around a little bit more. You know, they're going to be a little lighter, wanting to move around a little bit more.
Hey, I can go catch a few bugs if I want. Meanwhile, my sister over there, her booty practically hits the ground when she walks. So yeah.
Hey, I'm good with her. That's great.
Booty dragon duck love.
And apparently they don't forage that much because that takes movement.
Right. Now, their feet and their legs are their weak points. You'll want to watch out for bumblefoot, which is very common in big birds. And you want to keep them swimming to help keep leg muscles strong.
You know what? I want to just put this out there because some people don't realize, yes, waterfowl can get bumblefoot just as easily as chickens.
And sometimes poultry can.
It's worse in ducks because they put flat weight down on that foot. And I've seen... Somehow I've unjoined a lot of groups, but I'm still seeing pictures on my social. And I saw one of the worst I've ever seen the other day on there. It was waterfowl. And it was
you're also trying to fight an infection and keep bandages dry. It's really tough. So
it's tough. So just know they can get that bumblefoot.
The Aylesbury would be appropriate for a beginner as long as you pay attention to their health needs and you give them plenty of water to swim in, keep those legs strong. But the reality is, this breed really, really needs conservation help. So please consider them if you're looking for a duck breed to work with.
And let's go back to that old story. Where do you get them? Holly was saying it was hard to even find anybody out there, really. But
now, one of the reasons this duck is endangered, critically endangered, is because they are very hard to get your hands on. You can check the Livestock Conservancy's breeders directory, and you can try a Google search based on your zip code to see if anything comes up. I didn't find a lot in this area, but your mileage may vary, right? It's a big country.
Yeah.
What you can do, though, and buyer beware on this one, but you can look out for hatching eggs in case you want to try letting one of your broody hens hatch the ducklings for you like Fiona has just done.
Oh, yeah. And here's my question. Do you think it's easier in the UK to get them?
Yes,
it is here.
They're still endangered in the UK, but it is easier to get them there than it is here. Yeah, they're definitely, the pekin here, right, is the standard market duck, standard table bird. There, it used to be the Aylesbury, and there are enough of them around that you can get some.
Okay, so go get yourself an Aylesbury, a really large one that doesn't like to do much.
And enjoy. Right? Snooze and swim.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today.
Eaton Pet and Pasture is a farmer-owned company based in upstate New York that creates USA-made, sustainable products for backyard chicken keepers. From low-dust hemp bedding and comfy aspen nesting pads to nutritious treats and odor-eliminating products, everything is designed to keep your coop clean, healthy, and smelling egg-tastic.
All their products are made right here in the USA with ingredients that are safe for your flock and the planet. So whether you're doing a deep clean or just a quick refresh, Eaton makes it simple to care for your coop the natural way.
They're your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness, made easy.
Visit EatonPetAndPasture.com to explore the full line of flock favorites and use the code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount. Okay, so are we ready to move on to main topic? Yeah.
Yeah. Fiona is back with us this week. Hi, Fiona. How are you?
Hi, I'm really good. It's very hot here. It's lovely. And I've actually got a tan. It's lovely.
You are very tan.
I know. You're getting quite brown over there.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm spending a lot of time outside at the moment. I'm no longer working in an office all the time, which is wonderful. I'm loving it.
I bet it is wonderful.
I was thinking to myself that Fiona looks so tan on there.
Yeah,
I was like,
you're glowing.
Thank you.
You got the tan filter on. I've got the pale filter on.
Yeah, I look pale and I don't even know, washed out over here. Well, you look like you're thriving in the heat. The heat just about killed us.
We had 39 degrees Celsius last week. I mean, it was phenomenal. It was just one day, and then the following day it dropped 10 degrees. 10 degrees in 24 hours.
Wow.
But 39 was too much for me. I couldn't. It was horrible. And it was humid.
Yeah. That's never fun. Let's see, Holly's looking it up.
I don't
That's
know
what we're looking up.
102.2.
That's where we were.
Too hot. And when you add the humidity in there.
Yeah, I think it's more normal for you guys than it is for us because your range is much, much wider, isn't it? You've got colder winters.
Anytime you're over 100, that is really intense heat. It's very dangerous heat.
And it was the chickens that were worrying me more than anything. So,
absolutely.
Spending so much time refreshing the water, taking giant ice cubes out. Yeah, it was a lot. Very, very worried about them. But yeah, we got through it. We're okay. And I've got my Factor 50 on and I've still got a suntan. It's great.
You really look great.
Thank you.
We have a lot of new listeners lately. So if you haven't listened, if you somehow don't know who Fiona is the floof lady. Fiona and her husband Hugh have an excellent YouTube channel, English Country Life. Make sure you check that out. The videos are gorgeous and super, super useful. And you get to see all of Fiona's gigantic, fluffy, perfect Orpingtons.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
love my Orpingtons. They are so cool. And they brood brilliantly.
Yeah.
Speaking of brood, this is what we want to talk to you about today because you have some new little lovies over there.
Ducks. Duckies, little ducklings are so cute.
And they were hatched by a broody hen.
Yeah, some of the Orpington hatched them, and bizarrely, we picked her on purpose. So Summer is a seasoned broody hen. She's done this quite a few times for us, so we know she's reliable. We know that she'll sit a long time. So duck eggs take 28 days. Well, the duck eggs that we got take 28 days at Aylesbury Ducks. Chicken eggs are normally 21 days, but Summer sat for the full 28 days, which we knew she would do.
She's a pro.
We got a little bit worried for the last couple of days, just in case. It was like, please don't break. But she was fine. She did a great job. The hatch rate, though, was awful.
Oh, that's
such a shame. That's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that was likely to be the case because we bought the eggs and got them sent to us through the post. And through the post, with being shaken, it can be a problem. So we bought more than we thought we would need. So we bought 18 and we had an incubator running alongside because obviously Summer can't sit on 18 eggs. She can sit on 15 chicken eggs, but the most duck eggs she could sit on was 12.
Okay.
So we started off with 18. 3 were not fertilized, so that took us down to 15. Then we had 3 which started to grow and stopped within the first 2 weeks. So that left us with 12 viable eggs. But we only had 4 ducklings hatch. And we think that's because during transport, the air sacs detached from the inner membrane, which essentially means that the ducks couldn't access the air sac, which means they weren't able to hatch, unfortunately. It's a horrible thing because they were viable. They'd grown. They were ready to go, but there's nothing you can do about it if you lose the air sac. So
that is so hard. Oh,
and that's not even on the fact that a chicken hatch versus a duck. That's on the eggs and the transportation of the eggs.
Yep. Summer hatched brilliantly. She did a great job. So she hatched 2 herself. We had 2 in the incubator, and we introduced them that as soon as they'd fluffed up in the incubator, we got them out that night, introduced them to her. She took to them because she'd done that with chicks before. No problems at all. The ducks took to her. It's quite funny on my Instagram. I've had more than one person comment, but they won't understand each other.
Oh, they do.
They're following Summer's prompts for food, for water, and to come and get warmth. So that's really all they need at this stage. They know where the food is. They know where their water is. We were worried about how she would react to ducklings in water for the first time. And she just kind of stands at the side going, "What are you doing?" She's just got this look on her face. Oh, here we go again. She just kind of stands at the side ready with a towel. Yeah. When you're ready, kids, I'll warm you up. It's kind of how it is. And they look on her with amusement when she goes to dust bath. They show no interest in that. So it's not a learnt behavior at all.
Yeah.
She sits on them when they come out of the water, basically, to dry them off and warm them up.
Underneath.
Yeah, they are really quite intelligent, so they know whether they need the warmth or not, but she encourages them to come underneath her to warm up. But as they're getting bigger, they're only a week old, they're already doubled in size, and the days have been very, very warm, so they're less in need of that now. But they're still, they're in the duck house now, and they're under her. So here it's getting towards dusk. So they're happy to sleep under her, and they follow all of her prompts. So
here's the thing. That question comes out a lot. Can my chicken hatch ducklings? The answer definitely is yes. Yeah. What I'm taking from this is you need a seasoned pro, a chicken that you know is a good broody mom.
Yes.
This isn't good for a beginner chicken, like the first brood, to do something like this. You want to use somebody that you know is good.
You might get lucky and have a first-time hen do what you need, but I would improve your chances by using an experienced broody hen.
It's that time period for the incubation that's the biggest risk. So there's 2 risks. It's what you told me, Holly, about them chilling when they go in the water for the first time. So the first thing is 21 days for a chicken egg, 28 days for a duck egg. So you need a hen that you're fairly sure is going to sit for 28 days. Yeah. If you don't know they're going to sit, you're taking a chance, and you might end up having to raise them manually yourself. And the other thing is that with a seasoned chicken, summer is just... We have been very careful after Holly had told us that with adult ducks, if they hatch ducklings, that they will actually cover them in oil to keep them waterproofed. But if you've got a broody hen doing the job, they won't cover the ducklings in oil, so they won't be waterproof, and therefore could chill quickly when they've been in water. So we had brooder plates on hand just in case. We very closely supervised the swimming. But after 3 days of watching them in the water, we just said, oh, get on with it, because summer was, here I am, big fluffy towel, come and get dry whenever you need me.
The other thing which would be a good point is if you're going to do a chicken with ducks and you're worried about the water and chill, to do this at the time you're doing it, the perfect time in the summer when it's warmer. You're not quite like June, July, when you're not worried about it going down to 50 degrees and them getting wet. So I feel like that would be great in the summer hatch.
I think you're absolutely right.
I think that's something that confuses people when they're thinking about getting ducklings in general. How early can you let them swim? You can let them swim from a day old. But again, you have to monitor whether, if they've been hatched by a duck mama, she puts her own preen oil on them and waterproofs them. Obviously, a hen can't do that, but a good hen is going to keep them warm anyway. So that's just, if you decide to do ducks, whether you're doing a broody hen or an incubator or getting them from the hatchery, you can have them swimming from a day old. Just make sure that they have a way to get warm. That's all. It's that simple.
Yeah, we were very careful. So the first 3 days, we had a warmed up brooder plate on hand at one side, and we had it ready. We've got outside sockets, so we could actually transfer it into the duck house for them if they needed it. But summer... every hen is different, so our experience with summer may not translate to somebody else's broody hen or even Orpington. So it's best just to be safe. The other thing I would say is, from our learnings, and because it is different with a hen, just make sure you're on hand for the first week. Until you understand the rhythms of that hen with the ducklings, be on hand for that first week. So if you've got vacation time, just take it. Or if you're lucky enough to be around at home anyway, wonderful, fantastic.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
This proves an egg is just an egg and a mom is just a
Yep.
mom. It doesn't matter, right? You sit on the egg and then you mother what comes out. It doesn't matter if it's a duck, chicken, an ostrich, whatever.
I honestly think if we gave Summer an ostrich egg, she would have a good go at it. I really do think she would try and hatch that ostrich. And
I love that.
would be fun, wouldn't it?
That
It
would
would
be
be.
amazing. That would be so amazing.
Apparently here in the US, it's not uncommon to use, or I don't know how much people used to do this, but say 20, 30 years ago, people were using cochins to hatch their ducklings.
Ah, right. Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, cochins they're just Orpingtons with fluffy legs, aren't
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
It
You know
works.
what I would like to see if a silkie would sit on a duck egg, because silkies usually would sit on anything.
I bet they would.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether they'd be good at the raising part, I just don't know.
It
but
would
I'd
just
love
be
to
one
find
egg
out.
they could sit on, though. One egg. If that,
Yeah.
they would be like, no more can fit
Duck
under
eggs
here.
are quite large. Even when
They're
you're used
big.
to big eggs from
Yeah.
big breed chickens, duck eggs are big.
Yeah. And I'm amazed. I mean, we were just saying this before we started recording. I cannot believe how quickly these ducklings are growing. You can watch them and they can sprout a couple of inches. It's
Yeah.
really, really bizarre.
When you're used to the speed at which chicks grow, and even that seems pretty quick, right? The
Yeah.
space
yeah, it
of
does.
2 weeks, then 4 months, you got adult chickens, but ducklings grow super quickly. Geese, it is mind blowing how fast geese grow. It's the waterfowl just.
Fiona, we need a video of these ducks chasing Summer, like walking
Yes.
with her.
Okay, I will sort that out. I haven't actually done that yet, but we're going to be for the first time. So we've had them in a walk-in run on wood chip for the first week because we've never done this before. And we know that ducklings don't move fast like chicks do.
Right.
So here in the UK, we don't really have many aerial predators that are a problem, particularly with adult Orpingtons. But part of that is that the chicks will run really, really fast. So if something did come down, it wouldn't really be a problem because one, very angry Orpington hen, and two, the chicks run fast. But with ducklings, because they move slower, we decided to keep them in the walk-in run. Now, tomorrow, because they've grown so much, we are going to be setting up an electric fenced area so they can be out on the grass during the day.
Mhm.
And I think that's going to give us some really nice footage with the ducks following over because it's the cutest thing you've ever seen. It's
bet it is.
just adorable. But I mean, I just love the footage where they come running to me for peas at the moment. That just makes me so happy. I call it my pea training.
It's so fun when ducks eat out of your hand. It feels different than a chicken taking something
It's
with your teeth.
ticklish, isn't it? Because the chicks, it is a slight peck, but it's not painful. But you know,
Right.
it's like someone tapping on your hand. But
Yeah.
the ducks, it's because the scooping is ticklish, isn't it? It's just so cool.
I did
love
see
them.
in the video, though, Summer did take a pee for herself in that also.
Oh, yeah. She teaches them where the food is as well. So the first part you would have seen in the video is her taking a pee and
Yeah.
snapping on it like they do with chicks to
Yeah.
say, this is food, this is good. They know that already. But my pee training, you see, Hugh has determined he wants a pocket duck because he saw someone on Instagram with what he calls a pocket duck. And this is a guy who would walk around with a duck in his sweatshirt pocket and he would just put a pea out to the opening of the pocket and this little duck bill would come out and snatch the pea. And that's what Hugh wants. So that's the training we're doing.
Betting that that's a call duck.
I mean, can you
I'm betting
imagine an
it's a call
Aylesbury
duck.
with
An Aylesbury.
like in the pocket
Alligator
of a,
coming out.
yeah, it would be like a guy looking like he was pregnant or something because you'd have this big, huge 10-pound duck in a sweatshirt.
Hugh's fine. He's a big bloke. He'll be all right. He can cope. He'll stretch his sweatshirt, but that's not the point.
my
He'll
God.
be happy.
That's
We're
too
working on
funny.
it.
So Fiona, what would have been the biggest surprises for you? Like one negative, one positive. Like what was really great, put you over the moon, and then what was something that you didn't expect that was a little negative?
What has made me so happy is the way that Summer has taken to these ducklings. There has been absolutely no concerns with her behaviour, with the way that she's treated them, the way that she's cared for them. So that has been absolutely fantastic. The negative has been, I think we made a mistake keeping them in the walk-in run on wood chip, because we pride ourselves with the chicks of them always being on grass, always free ranging on grass. And that's really what we wanted for the ducklings as well. But for safety reasons, because this is the first time we did it, we've got them on wood chip in the walk-in run. So we won't do that again. We're confident that they are perfectly safe and they will be fine outside.
Perfect.
So cute.
Although I'm going to caution folks in the US, don't forget that we have aerial predators here that the UK does not have.
Yes, it's very, very different conditions over here. We don't have hawks that, I mean, if you've got bantam chickens, it's another ball game. I do know people who have had bantam chickens taken, but we have free ranged our Orpingtons for, nearly 20 years now. No issues whatsoever. And we have marsh harriers, buzzards, red kites, crows, no issues whatsoever for us.
Great. That's great.
The other thing I want to mention too is just because the broody hen hopefully will take through like summer, did like a champ, but in case they get up early, always have that incubator ready to go in case you have to transfer those eggs from the 21 day to the 28, because not every chicken's they're gonna be like, I'm done. It's 21 days. They may get up, but she is a pro and she stayed the whole 28.
Yeah, you got to have that backup plan. So we had the brooder plate, the brooder environment, we had the incubator set up. So everything was ready just in case we needed it. In fact, we did, as I said at the beginning, we did have some of the eggs in an incubator anyway, because we'd over ordered on the basis that we knew hatch rates through the post weren't great. And it was the right choice.
Okay. Now, Aylesbury's, as we've said, are big ducks. So how many ducks do you think Summer could comfortably have cared for?
Well, with chicks. With chicks, Summer has had the most she has raised in one go 17.
Oh my gosh. That's a super mom right there.
Now, you got to bear in mind that by week 6, they are making their chicks independent. Okay. So she's not sitting on them when they're massive.
Right.
And actually by 3 weeks, they don't need, and the summer night temperatures, they don't need a broody hen completely covering them anyway. So 17 was okay, but I think the most she probably could have coped with the ducks is 9, maybe 10 at a push. Okay. But we would have a brooder plate on hand just to be on the safe side.
So my question's going to be, as the ducks grow so much faster than chicks, at what point is she going to be like, these are super chicks or ducklings? What's happening here? Is she going to pull away quicker, or is she still going to try to mother them for that same length of time?
I think it's going to still be dependent on temperature. So I think she'll still go sometime between week 5 and 7.
Okay.
Because I think normally I would say week 6 and 8, but the temperatures have actually led our broody hens this year to leave earlier. All of them, we had one actually leave her chicks at 4 weeks old, but they were perfectly fine. Yeah. They are absolutely hunky-dory on their own. Most of them are leaving them, making them independent at week 5 right now.
Should be like, my babies are almost as big as me. What's going on here?
I just don't know what she's going to be fine with these 4. I think by the time they're 4 weeks old. I mean, sometimes I've gone out, they're under her at the moment. So when they originally go to roost, they do go under her. But if you go out in the middle of the night with a torch, they're actually not under her because the temperatures at night are so warm right now.
That's one of the really nice things about doing the natural way with the broody hen. If you think about here in the US, especially because we get chicks, we do that February, March, April. Yeah. But if you wait for your hen to do it, your temperatures are higher. They may not need as much heat. When we brooded our geese, it was late June, early July. Our geese were only on heat for 2 weeks because temperatures were just that warm. So if you go the natural way, the hens are responding, their hormones are responding according to temperature.
But I think there's a drive for people to want their hens to be laying the same year. And usually, unless you've got them up to 20 weeks, by the time you've got the autumn equinox, they're not going to lay until the next year.
Very true.
And I think that's one of the main drivers for people wanting to start early. And if you've got to wait for a broody hen, it's like waiting for a kettle to boil, isn't it? I mean, it's so frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, the weird thing for us, we've got a weird phenomenon going on at the moment. Both Tiny and Winter went into a second brood and they both broke after a few days.
Oh.
And then Tiny's gone ahead and she's had a second clutch of Brahmas. So, yeah, she's got Brahmas now. I know, they're so gorgeous.
Okay, so when are we coming back over to the UK to stay with you so we can see everybody?
You see more of this duck action.
We want to be on the pea training with the ducklings. That would be awesome.
Oh, you'd be more than welcome. Seriously. You'd absolutely love it. You really would. But I think if I had my way right now, if you had to ask me, are we going to continue with ducks? I would have to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% there because I'm still a bit unsure. We're still learning and we're only a week into after hatching.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that still could happen. But right now I'm absolutely loving them. But I want to get them out on grass because I love poultry on grass.
Oh, yeah. And they'll take to that like the proverbial duck to water. Now, there's this little thing that happens with waterfowl when they start to move into like teenage juvenile.
This is where you scare me again, isn't it?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
A little bit.
They become very reactive. I mean, there's a biological imperative there, right? They don't need their parents as much. They're becoming adults. They're learning how to be more responsive adults.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that translates, though, to ducklings that were raised by a broody hen. Will that happen sooner or later, or will it not be as strong?
And I feel, too, that Fiona's so hands-on that will that bond overtake the hormones and they still don't get that as much?
Personally feel like that is the case with geese because geese imprint so hard on their parents. Ducks do imprint, but I don't know if it's as strong or if that's because I have skittish breeds. So it'll just be interesting.
I don't know.
How about Polish roosters? Because that happened with Little Man. The hormones didn't really... He still let me handle them all through that time. He's very special,
though.
When I go into the duck enclosure, they do move away from me when I go in. Okay. And then as soon as they see that I have peas in my hand, it's like, I am the food god. They're all over me. They love being picked up. They love being handled. Mm-hmm. But initially, every time I go in, they do move away, which is different to the chicks. They basically run towards me the whole time.
Yes.
But, I take that as they're just not quite sure yet, or maybe they don't recognize people in quite the same way as chicks do.
That's a good question.
But certainly, as soon as they realize I have peas, they're all over me.
They're coming up. Yeah, they're coming around. Yeah.
I love this because now we can have Fiona back on to see things again through eyes of someone with the first time and see those things, and you bring them back to people because that's really an important aspect to have as a beginner with something with the ducks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm learning so much and I'm getting so much advice from people on social media who are seasoned, people who've had bred ducks for years, people who show birds, people who just had them for fun. And it's just been amazing, the information I've got.
I feel like the waterfowl community is very generous.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. There was one lady, in fact, there was two people who wrote 10 pages of information for me and sent it over before we started the whole process.
They're super helpful. Like, they really want to help each other. They want to help you succeed. Yeah.
So everyone has to stay tuned to Fiona coming on here and go over to the Floof Lady and look at those amazing videos that Fiona's putting up there because they're so cute.
Don't forget the fluffy-legged Brahmas because they are cute as buttons too.
They're beautiful. But there's the whole brown egg thing with the Brahmas. Are you going to sell all them? You're going to keep them?
We're hatching them initially because our neighbours want to keep chickens. They're new to rural living. They've seen our chickens. They really wanted some, but obviously they couldn't have hens which are broody because they're beginners and they don't want to cope with broodiness.
Right.
So we've gone with Brahmas who, although they will brood, they're not quite as prolific as the Orpingtons.
Agreed.
So we've hatched some specifically for them, and because they've got grandchildren, we're trying to get them 5 hens that look different. So there's some gold lace, there's some little black ones, there's a lavender, there's some cream coloured ones.
Oh,
so there's a few different colours for them to go out, and we're just hoping there's a good enough selection that there's 5 hens that look significantly different.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And we've got buyers lined up for the rest actually as well.
I bet you do. Because
you do.
Baby Brahmas are the cutest.
We would just have all your chickens if we could, because we could, but we can't.
Yeah, but I want the grandkids and I want little man. And
You don't want little man. I don't think he gets the job done. I really
Hey,
don't.
little man gets the job done for me. He's a cuddler and a snuggler.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it's only if you want him as a breeder.
Thank God he's my rooster, because somehow God looked down and said, I'm going to give you little man. I'm going to give
is
you a
that
rooster.
how that worked? That's how that
I'm going
worked?
to give you a rooster, but it's going to be little man. And I said, okay, I can take little man.
He's gorgeous. He really is. He's such a sweetie, but he's
not all there.
He doesn't do the job that we need a rooster to do.
Yes,
Exactly right.
He's a mama's boy.
He is.
Okay, well, Fiona, thank you again for coming back on. As always, we love you.
I love coming on, and I can talk ducks for hours, you know that.
So can Holly.
They're addicting. It's like, I've tried to explain to Chrissy, it's not that I love the chickens any less. Chickens are my first love and my passion, but I love those ducks.
Yeah, they're so different. I mean, I'm starting to fall in love, I must admit. I think it's just the first week or so, it's been full of fear because I've been worried about getting things wrong as a beginner, and you want to do the best for your poultry.
Right.
So I'm getting past that now, and I'm just working on the pocket duck.
You're an old pro, girl. You're an old pro. Okay,
seriously, I'm going to be publishing this. When I've got the pocket duck, I'm going to have it like the pregnant lady in my sweater, and you're going to see it.
I love it.
Oh my God. Okay, we'll talk to you later. We'll talk to you next month.
Thanks, Fiona.
Bye.
Bye. We just want to thank Fiona one more time, as always, for a great chat. The whole brooding ducks with hens is really neat. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but my farm vet, he used to raise and show ducks, and he would use cochin hens to incubate his ducks.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could totally see that.
Perfect broodies. Thank you, Fiona. Head on over to English Country Life. Don't forget, Fiona and Hugh have gorgeous videos up, and you can see Summer, the Orpington hen, with the babies.
Oh my God. If you're not seeing it, go over there. And
So
Fiona,
cute.
we love you, lady.
If your flock could talk, they would thank you for shopping at Eaton Pet and Pasture, your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness made easy.
From their all-natural USA-made favorites like hemp bedding, roost refresh, and nesting pads to convenient product bundles that make chicken care simple, Eaton has everything you need to keep your coop clean, cozy, and odor-free.
Check them out at EatonPetandPasture.com and use code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount.
Okay, so are we ready to move on to
Cracking the eggs.
cracking those eggs? Now, today we're doing mixed berry crostata.
Crostata, if you don't know, is the Italian name for a free-form tart, usually with fruit filling. Crostata are traditionally made with a rich pastry crust known as pasta frolla, and the addition of an egg or an egg yolk is what provides this richness. When you roll out your pasta frolla, you don't have to worry about transferring the crust into a pie pan or a tart pan. You just roll it out on parchment paper and transfer that right to the baking sheet. I love making pasta frolla.
It's good. So the pasta frolla, let's go into our ingredients. You need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour or gluten-free 1-to-1 flour, plus a little extra for rolling, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup, that's 1 stick of unsalted butter or dairy-free butter. It has to be very cold and cut in cubes, 1 large egg beaten, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 additional egg or 3 tablespoons of milk or plant milk for washing the crust, and 2 tablespoons of demerara or the turbinado or the coarse sanding sugar for sprinkling. You can buy one of those and it lasts you like a lifetime.
I know, I've had a bag for like 3 years now, and I love the way it looks, and I have a free hand with it, but it just lasts forever.
I have a big plastic container and we go through it, but we got a lot left.
Yeah.
Now the crostata filling, let's go through quickly those ingredients and we don't have to circle back. We do 3 cups of fresh berries. We use the blueberries and the sliced strawberries, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now, this is simple, but sometimes simple is the best, honestly.
This is a rustic tart, but it looks really pretty. I remember I was in my 20s the first time I made a crostata, and I was so excited by the fact that I didn't have to mess with a pie pan or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have a ton of sugar in it. So if you have someone who's like, doesn't want a lot of sugar in their desserts, this is a really nice one to make for that.
Well, the berries bring their own fruit sugar in with them, basically. They're sweet already, so you're just adding a little bit to them.
So your pastry dough, your pasta frolla, you're going to whisk together the flour, the granulated sugar, and the salt. Use a pastry blender or your method of choice, and you're going to cut the butter cubes into the flour until the mixture resembles coarse meal with some pea-sized crumbs. Go ahead and make a well in the center of that flour mixture. Add your beaten egg and the vanilla extract, and stir with a fork until the dough starts to come together. Gather the dough in your hands, form it into a disc, wrap it in plastic, and chill it in the refrigerator for at least half an hour. While the dough is chilling, you can make your filling. Ooh, was a poet. I didn't know it.
Yeah.
In a medium or large mixing bowl, stir together the sugar and the cornstarch. Add the sliced strawberries and the blueberries, then pour the lemon juice on top. Then you're going to toss all of that together until the fruit is coated with the mixture, and just set that aside. When you're ready to bake, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit, that's 175 Celsius, and have your baking sheet ready. On a large piece of parchment paper, using a floured rolling pin, or if you're like me and you're lazy, I use parchment above and below. I roll the whole thing between the parchment. Roll the chilled dough out into a roughly 12-inch diameter circle and transfer it to your baking sheet. Just pick the whole parchment up, put it right in the baking sheet. Pour the berry mixture into the center of the dough, leaving a 2-inch border around the edges. So it's going to be sort of in a mound.
Right.
Again, leave at least that 2 inches around the edges. Then you're going to fold the edges of the dough up over the filling, forming the rustic-looking crostata crust. It literally looks like, I don't know, it's almost like a fruit pizza, but the dough is folded over, if that makes sense.
Yep.
The edges. You get any cracks in the dough, you just gently pat them back together. Then in a small bowl, you're going to beat your remaining egg. I used a bantam egg. It was a perfect size for egg wash.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. You're going to beat that remaining egg with a splash of water. You're going to brush this egg wash, or you can use, again, a milk wash. You're going to brush that all over the folded pastry crust and sprinkle with the coarse sugar. Pop that into the oven to bake for 45 minutes or until the crust is golden brown and the berry juices are bubbling. Allow it to cool for at least 15 minutes before slicing. Now, Pete has reported that he prefers the crostata once it has been chilled, but I actually like it warm with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. So whatever works best for you. It's delicious either way. I mean, you have this delicious tender crust and you have essentially what is pie filling, and it's just delicious.
Yeah, it's beautiful and delicious. Try it. You might like it. Hey, and do us a favor. On Tuesday mornings, come on over to Instagram and look at these beautiful photographs we're going to be showing of this recipe. Thank you to Allison over at allison.mc on Instagram. Give this woman a follow. She is a chicken lady. She does phenomenal food photography, and she's part of our team now. So let's all give her some love and some follows over there. Allison.mc, and I'll have it on the post. But I can't wait for you to see these pictures. They're amazing.
Yeah, she does such a good job. This stuff is just so beautiful.
Okay, so let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy is a seed spotlight, and it is
corn.
Corn. Yes, it is.
Corn. Love corn. Now, corn was developed about 7,000 or 8,000 years ago in Mexico. Gigantic thank you to our southern neighbors, because corn is fabulous. Corn is a staple food for both people and poultry and a lot of the other animal life out there. In fact, along with wheat, rice, and barley, corn was one of the 4 oldest cultivated grains in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Traditionally known as maize, corn is actually a member of the grass family, and the kernels are safely edible for most life forms, again, including poultry and people. My little sheep, the Wisants, they love them some dried corn. They just like to crunch it. It's so cute. Now, from Mexico, corn moved down into Central and South America fairly quickly. Then, a little more slowly, it moved up into what is now the U.S. via trade amongst Native Americans and indigenous people. Christopher Columbus took corn seeds back to Europe from both of his first and second voyages. But these were corn varieties from the tropics, and they really struggled in Europe.
Oh, yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like nowhere near enough sunlight or heat or anything like that. So Europeans, they regarded corn as ornamental, and they couldn't successfully grow corn until some of the U.S. strains that could grow in shorter and cooler environments, like the upper half of the country. Mm-hmm. Once they arrived in Europe, then they had a lot more luck cultivating corn. Now, Native Americans often grew corn along with beans and squash. This was known as the Three Sisters, and it is an early and very useful form of companion planting.
Okay, here's the thing. Corn, it gets a bad rap a lot. And people think it's junk food, but it's not.
No.
It is. It's not. It's like they're like, oh, corn. That's not nutritious. That's not this. It is reasonably nutritious.
It is.
It really
for
is.
sure.
Now, fresh corn provides modest amounts of protein, healthy amounts of fiber, especially the insoluble fiber, vitamin C, and B complex vitamins. These are all really important. And some phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. I keep putting a pause because I'm like, wait a minute, there's more.
There's more.
But wait, there's more. So it also contains lutein and zeaxanthin. That's a hard one to say, for antioxidant protection. And contrary to what people may think, corn is low on the glycemic food index. Everybody thinks you're going to eat corn, you're going to get sugar. Everybody thinks this.
No, because it has so much insoluble fiber, it actually can even help lower your blood sugar spikes.
Everybody, when you think, oh, corn isn't a real vegetable, it's crazy to me that people say that.
Surprise, it is.
Now, it's got about 73% water. It's also very hydrating. Look, the benefits just keep going and going.
I know.
Dried corn has a similar nutrient profile, but because it's concentrated, it is obviously higher in calories and rich in carbohydrates, but it's also higher in protein. But let's put it out there. How many humans are actually eating dried corn? Not many.
I mean, you'd be eating it ground in cornbread. Like, if you're eating tortilla chips out of the bag, that's one thing. But if you're having a meal that sort of that has tortillas or has tostada shells or something like that, that's still just a modest amount. And you're probably keeping it with veggies. So,
but the dried corn is good for your poultry because it's giving them all those extra things.
For sure. You know me. I've said for years that corn is not as bad as people. People are like, corn is empty calories. No, it isn't.
Let's look at these squirrels out there. They eat a lot of corn, okay? And they're good. They run around. They do a bunch of stuff.
Deer will eat corn all day long, too. Now, you know that darn deer was in my goose feeders again this morning? The geese were yelling at her. They were like, get out of here.
You need some deer feeders out there.
No, I do not need. They'll eat the rest of my garden as well as what's in the feeders. Now, corn isn't hard to grow, but it does have some.
You should grow them some corn.
I'm not growing them corn. If I grow corn, that is going in my mouth.
But they'll grow it for the deer.
No. Corn isn't hard to grow, but it does have some particular requirements, including protection from deer and raccoons. It needs to be grown in blocks instead of rows because it needs to be wind pollinated. And many varieties grow quite tall, some as tall as 8 to 10 feet. But they usually only produce a couple of ears per plant, which is interesting. I always assumed there was a lot more than that. No, a couple. There are also a few different groups of corn, including flint corn, which is known for its hard outer shell and beautiful colors. Flint corn is often ground into cornmeal, flour, and polenta, and also used as popcorn. Then there's dent corn. Dent corn is often known as field corn, used for animal feed, producing corn syrup and tortilla chips. And then the last category, which is our personal favorite, sweet corn, which has soft, milky kernels and is best eaten fresh.
Maryland sweet corn is good.
Oh my God, isn't it? Flint and dent corn have much longer storage life when dried, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And also an interesting note is that corn hybridizes well, and that's why sweet corn has evolved so much over the last 100 years or so.
It's really not a bad thing to say about corn. And that little boy who made the song, it's the best song ever. It gets in your head.
That corn on the cob, oh yeah.
I might have to repost the video I made for that song.
That kid is cute.
Yeah, he was so cute. Okay, so there are, let's guess, how many varieties of heritage corn available on the market. I mean, there's a ton. They range from butter yellow to green, blue, and red, and have all sorts of practical uses. I mean, come on.
I mean, you can make ethanol fuel from corn.
You can do so much with corn. It's crazy.
I know.
Like so many other heirloom veggies, corn cultivars are and have fantastic names. Okay. Bloody Butcher. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Glass Gem, Delaware Blue, Dakota Black, Cherokee White, Golden Bantam. That might be a corn theme for the Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. There you
Golden
go.
Bantam.
Country Gentleman. And we cannot forget the staple of our childhood, the Silver Queen, which is it's the mid-Atlantic corn of
Makes
all.
my mouth water. Now, the funny thing now is you'll buy corn and people say, oh, it's Silver Queen, but it often is not. You can still get seeds for the real Silver Queen. I think Southern Exposure Seed Exchange has them.
Yeah.
But it's not as common as people like to say.
But on the Mid-Atlantic, it is pretty much what they plant.
Even here, Silver King, often they're growing instead of Silver Queen. I found this out recently by talking to a couple of corn farmers, local corn farmers.
We need to knock out this Silver King. It's time for the Silver Queen.
The Silver Queen, she must ascend her throne.
Now, you can find a wide variety of all these seeds that we're talking about, including the Native American and indigenous Mexican varieties at Baker Creek. Love them. Love the catalog. The Alliance of Native Seed Keepers, True Leaf Market, Annie's Heirlooms, Urban Farmers, and Thresh Seed Company.
Get you some corn.
Should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Corn.
No, we're not.
I might still be talking about corn next week. Next week, what are we talking about? Here we go. Next week, we're talking about the red cap chicken. Talk about critically endangered.
Oh, yeah.
The wonderful Jeanette Behringer from the Livestock Conservancy is joining us to talk about her new project, which is working with the red cap.
And trying to save them. We love ourselves some Jeanette.
Cracking the eggs. We got some Maryland-style summer macaroni seafood salad. Yeah.
Doesn't get any better.
That needs a side dish of corn and cantaloupe. And some tomatoes if you're feeling that way. And retail therapy, we're talking about aprons, egg collecting aprons, aprons for your kitchen, chicken aprons, poultry aprons. I want an apron with country geese on the front.
And they're so fun, and vintage ones are even more fun. So let's talk about them.
Yeah.
Okay, so what should everybody do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, and geese every day.
And kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. Thanks for listening.